Hello everyone, welcome to this week's edition of CANrace. I'm your host Bryce Turner. Just a few short days ago, the NASCAR Pinty Series started its 2017 season at the road course of Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, better known to some race fans as Old Mo Sport. Coming up on today's show, we'll recap the race. Let's start our coverage now by going back to the track where I talk about the race with CANrace's Stephen Ellis. We are back here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park where the season opener for the NASCAR Pinty Series just concluded. One of the big storylines this weekend is the rain. It's just been wet for quite a portion of the Pinty's race, especially towards the end was almost like a washout. But hey, they race on the road course and you were out there in the rain taking photos. How was that?
I'm soaked. I'm very wet. I've never done conditions like that. I've been fortunate where every time I've gone to a race or covered a race that when I go outside, it's been nice weather. No, it was rain. It was cold. It was windy and it was muddy. And it was definitely more fun when the guys were able to go full speed and it was able to race in the dry. And the drivers loved it in the rain, but I can't say I was a big fan.
Yeah, well, certainly the top two finishers, Kevin Lacroix, the winner, Andrew Ranger, second. They talked about how much they enjoyed that and really battling for the win, but it was so hard for visibility for them. But hey, Kevin Lacroix, he used his experience from other series to take the win with racing in the rain, and also his road course experience here. That's 2 in a row at CTMP for him.
Yeah, for Kevin, he said after qualifying yesterday, he said he was confident in the rain because he's raced in the rain in different series, and I was a little skeptical. I'm thinking, you know what? Yeah, he's raced in open wheel, he's raced in other things in the rain, but he hasn't driven a big body stock car like this. And guys like Andrew Ranger and Robin Buck are really good at that. And Ranger came in second, Buck wasn't really much of a factor, and yeah, it ended up being Lacroix. And unfortunately, I didn't get a good vantage point of the finish in the final lap, but it seemed like Lacroix just put on the jets when he needed it and took advantage of the mistakes from Ranger. And you know what? I think he was one of the most consistent guys by far the whole race. He was there at the front at the beginning, and he was there in the front of the end. So I think it was a well-deserved win. He definitely showed that he's good in the rain. He said he loves it, so there you go.
And so that was the battle for the win, and there was also a close battle for third place where Gary Clute on the front stretch just to cross the start-finish line was able to pass Caden Lapsovich for third place. How about that run for Clute?
He said afterwards that he was pretty sure that he was a lap down when the last 5 laps, and he comes in third place. That was one of the most impressive last 2-lap runs I've ever seen. He was fantastic. He was fast. He was 2 laps down with about 10 laps to go, catches up and finishes third place. He was aggressive when it needed, and he took it again. He was a guy who took advantage of others' mistakes. In this case, it was both Alex Lebay and Caden Lapsovich, and it worked out really well. He comes in third place, and again, I don't think anyone expected that. He has won at this track, but the way his weekend was looking, it didn't look like he was going to be a threat. Comes in third place. Again, I don't think anyone saw that coming.
Solid finish for him. And fun fact for Caden Lapsovich, he finished 4th in this race last year, the year that he won the championship. Maybe some similar luck?
Good question. He was a guy that, he was kind of a mid-pack driver most of the day, and he got lucky that guys like Anthony Simone and Alex Tagliani both ran into problems later in the race, and he was able to kind of move up through the field for that way. And you know what? I've not been... I would say that his strength is definitely the short tracks, but he's learning a lot in these road courses, and he didn't show the power that a lot of these other teams did, but I think he was consistent enough, and that's how he won the championship last year. It's definitely a good start.
Alex Lebay 5th and LP Dumoulin 6th. Now, Dumoulin was leading for a portion of the race, but had some damage towards the back of his car too, but still able to take it home 6th place.
Yeah, he and Tagliani had a bit of an issue, and Tagliani, he ended up wrecking out of the race, and which Tagliani, a very aggressive driver, and he wanted to win. He's raced a lot in the rain. He's raced, I'm pretty sure he's raced Xfinity in the rain too, so he knows how to drive in the rain. He wants to be aggressive, and fortunately he and Dumoulin got tangled there, and Dumoulin, his car was damaged, and it wasn't much of a threat at the end after a really good rush in the middle of the race, and he had a bit of a pit strategy call midway that kind of moved him up, and Dumoulin had a fantastic run, and I bet he probably wanted a better finish based off of how he did do, and I believe he finished in 6th place, which is, that's pretty good for a guy that was involved in a wreck pretty late.
And his brother, JF Dumoulin, finished behind him in 7th, followed by Jason Hathaway, who's running only 3 races this year. Brett Taylor, a 9th place effort. and Adam Martin, the rookie, rounding out the top 10. Tagliani, after that wreck, would finish 18th for the 18 car. And we head from this high-speed road course to a short track oval for Delaware, which is the next race. What are we looking forward to for that one?
Well, it's a totally different style race. It's kind of like when you look at the Monster Energy Cup Series, when you go from Daytona to Atlanta. It's two different style of tracks, two different types of racing, and in this case, it'll be short track. It'll be a lot of aggressiveness, kind of like what we do see in this road course, because in this series of road course racing, they treat it like short tracks. They're bumping, they're hard on the brakes, and they're aggressive. And we'll see a lower car count, but I think it'll be still a really stellar field that I think will really put on a good show, and it's going to be a good return.
It's something to look forward to, and hopefully no rain, because they won't race in the rain there. So
yeah. Good thing they had rain tires, and a lot of teams didn't really use them that much. But again, the Pirelli World Challenge Series afterwards got rained out, so the fact that they were able to pull off that race was pretty good. We can't see it in ovals for obvious reasons, because it will just be a wreck fest and dangerous. But you saw it today.
Yeah, and we're able to then head home still on the Sunday, and I was able to enjoy the nice, dry media center here during the race. So that will do it for our coverage here from CTMP. Again, Kevin Lacroix winning the opener, which was filled with lots of rain. Here's a look at the driver standings, and as you can imagine, since this is after the first race of the season, the order is the same as the race results, with Kevin Lacroix leading by 5 points over Andrew Ranger. Lacroix was able to get full points from the race, having led the most laps and winning, so he was able to pick up a full 48 points and therefore has the 5-point lead over Ranger. Meanwhile, Gary Clute is 7 points back in third, Caden Lapsevich 8 points back, and Alex Labey and LP Dumoulin are tied for fifth, as Dumoulin has a bonus point for leading a lap in the race. So that's a look at the top 5 in the standings, and coming up on next week's show, we'll look ahead to round 2 of the season, which will take place at the short track of Delaware Speedway. We'll talk with Armani Williams, who will be making his debut with CBRT at the track. That's what's coming up on next week's show. But for now, thanks for watching CANrace. I'm your host, Bryce Turner. Have a great day.